ladies and gentlemen. All right, so we're doing Deload week 1. So this is our new program. Day 1 is just chest and ab day. So we start with bench press, incline press. Can choose to do, I'm going to alternate between dumbbell. Hey, what's going on, Darius? How's it going, buddy? Yeah, this is Deload week. I'm just walking through the new program. So we're starting out with chest press, incline press, and then we do a cable fly with a decline, fly with dumbbell, and then cable press down, overhead extension, and then our core circuit, which is just going to be rope crunch and hanging leg raise. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy. That's basically it. Abel Ghost, what's going on? How you doing? I'm feeling good. Sorry, I'm just gonna move this over to the bench press. So I had 2 days of refeed. So I got lots of food in the system. We got a nice easy deload week here, which is even sweeter. But I will be doing the new program, so you guys will get to kind of see an early preview of what that looks like. But it's just at deload weights, and then we're going to be doing it at fat loss weights after that. So rest time is going to be a little shorter now. You guys will see that. Yeah, all pretty straightforward and easy. You guys can ask me any questions you have about the new program, why it's set up the way it is, basically whatever you guys want to ask. And go through whatever, but I'm happy to have you guys here. Thank you very much. And hopefully we can hit these subscriber goals. We're getting there, man. We're getting there. How's your guys' Easter? Did you guys do anything fun and exciting? Oh my God. 1 second here. Just trying to. Yeah, so starting my cut. So this is going to be the new program. I see there, Abel Ghost. Yeah, this is going to be the new program for the cut. So I'm just going to forward this to fat loss. Yeah, so style of programming, just basic fat loss. I'm not going to be, so I'm not in as much of a deficit as calorie-wise as you would expect. I'm actually at the exact same for week 1 and 2, which is 2,700 because I did do such a tight calorie target for my lean bulk. So I'm not actually going to change the calorie target. All I'm going to do is my volume of exercises is just going up. So you'll notice the weight isn't that heavy compared to what I usually do. The whole idea here is this is just a deload week. So it's not supposed to be heavy. It's just supposed to be going through kind of the same motions. We're still going to get a little burn going, but because it's still activity. So yeah, it's just going to be much like that, stopping with a decent amount of reps in reserve. So don't celebrate Easter. Stop getting Easter baskets last year, but I'm 18 now, so it doesn't matter. Nice. Well, you could treat yourself to some Easter chocolates, right? Why not? Yeah, my daughters were both very excited. I made like an Easter basket for everyone, for my wife and both my girls or whatever. We made one for both the girls. They're excited. We did a little thing where like, I don't know if you guys saw on my Instagram, I put it on my stories. we did a thing where basically I dressed up in my sweater and put a bunch of chocolates in my pockets and ran around, and they had to catch me. And every time they tagged me, I dropped some chocolate and some candy, and they had to pick it up. And it was all in good fun, though. They had a good time. So that's what it's all about. But yeah, deload week's all about fun. Like you see, have you changed your diet? Not really, a little bit. So some of the, I guess more, I guess I should say yes. So I did change my diet a little bit. My evening meal used to have 300 grams of potato. It goes down to 280. And my lunch used to have 200 grams of rice, and it goes down to 180. So not very much, but a little bit. Head to the movies by the next couple of days. I'm going to be refills of the slushies. Nice, dude. Yeah. So um, diet changed a little bit. A little bit of the carbs are getting cut out this week, but the calories are going to stay the same. So for me, yeah, my fat content will jump slightly just because I add fish oils, like fish oil capsules, back into my diet. So my overall fat amount will go up a little bit, but and my carbs will come down a little bit, but my calories stay the same. And then yeah, and like I mentioned, my activity will go up. So I still do the 5 days training, but there's going to be more exercises per each day. And my cardio is still going to stay at 3 days for now, and then that's slowly going to increase as well too. So little by little, you guys will see the difference. Like this is chest day is going to have, before I just had 3 total chest exercises. This is going to have 4 and 2 tricep, and then my abs are going to be basically worked on every other day essentially. See, again, that same problem. Missing that one side. Almost dropped on my face, even though it wasn't heavy. About to head out to the movies next couple of days. Gonna be getting free refills. Yeah. Safe, yeah. It's that same, it's the problem. So even though the weight's lighter, still having a problem with the actual squat rack. So sorry, I just having work emails. So yeah, so pretty good. Hospital was seconds away. It was. Tommy, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for being here. Please drop a subscribe if you're new. Appreciate it. Chest day, which is technically my push day, is 2 sets dumbbell flies to failure. Per day, maybe. Yeah. And depending on what you're working on too. Yeah. If you're working on growth, like I typically have, like even the program you guys have seen, I was doing, yeah, like probably what, 3 or 4. I'd have like 3 working sets, but 2 of them were probably, like you mentioned, like 2 were like heavy, hard working sets. So yeah, shows abs. When I get them fully back in, you guys will be the first to see. Now I kind of have the top 4 and the oblique sticking out, but the bottom ones always are the last ones to come in for me. So you guys will see them. Don't worry. I will show you full on ab show when the time comes. Yeah, but here we're not going for strength and power because obviously soon we're going to be in a calorie deficit. So you'll notice that's what you'll notice here is a lot less. Still aiming for failure. We're trying to get enough stimulus to keep the muscle that we've grown over this time, but we're not trying to get so much so that we expect to gain any new lean mass at this point, because we're just trying to keep the stimulus good. And favorite actor? Ooh, favorite actor. That's a good question. Favorite actor. Well, one of them isn't around anymore. I was always a big fan of Ray Liotta. One of my favorite movies growing up was Goodfellas, so I think that's why. I always thought he was a really good actor. But outside of that, depends. I have different actors for different things. I think, let me break it into like 4 categories. So Alan Ritchson, the guy who plays Reacher, is one of my favorite. I think he's kind of underrated. And I think for some reason I get the feeling that him and I would be buddies. Yours is Alan Ritchson. Okay, yeah. So him and I think we'd be buddies, to be honest, because I don't know, just so something about the way he is, like on Instagram, some of like the things, he seems very much like the type of personality I would gravitate to. I think he's underrated. I think he can do quite a few things acting wise, but then he also has moments where you're like, ooh, that wasn't that great. I think every actor has that though too. Jake Gyllenhaal's another one I think is underrated. Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one. We're on the same page. Yeah, 100%. Alan Ritchson seems like a good dude. Even like that whole thing you see where he beat the crap out of his neighbor for his kids. I think that was hilarious, and I think the guy deserved it 110%. I think most of the internet agrees. But yeah, I think even that like just shows you he's kind of just a good dude, chill dude. It wasn't until the guy kept pushing his luck that he got his face crunched in a little bit. So yeah, pretty straightforward, easy deload sets. Yeah, he gave us a teaser in real life. 100%. Well, that was it. He told the guy like to back off, right? And he stepped in front of his thing. You could tell. So you could tell when you see his neighbor next to him, because he's a big dude, right? And you see the neighbor next to him, that the neighbor's not a small guy either. He's a chunkier, like normal built guy, but he was a big dude. Like he's tall, broad shoulders, but just like a chunky regular guy. But you could tell in life, he's probably been able to like throw his size around, and people instantly are a little intimidated by him. And so whenever he does that, they're probably like, okay, okay, okay. But then you get in front of somebody who's not intimidated by that, or they're big too. And that's what happens. You know what I mean? You run your mouth too much and you get up against somebody who's not intimidated by it and get your face punched in a bit. Which superpower do I wish I have? Oh, damn. Probably flight or invisibility, I think. Yeah, right. And that's the thing. You're going to run up against people like that. And I think guys like that guy who got in Alan Richardson's face, you could tell they probably lived a life of just like, because they're naturally born bigger, that people have been like intimidated by that. But You're always going to run into somebody who doesn't give a shit, right? So that like whole I'm big, so be scared of me thing doesn't last for very long in the real world. You think about it, he's probably in a gated community with a bunch of like kind of like smaller tax professionals and those kind of guys who grew up like that, which is nothing wrong with that. Like, not making fun of anybody, but yeah, like that's, you know. Zoya, hey, thanks for being here. Please drop a subscribe, guys, please. We're working our way to 200. If you're new here, every sub helps. We're on our way. We're doing all right. Trying to get to 200 by the end of May. So we're going through Deload week here, talking about our favorite actors, favorite superpower, what superpower we wish we had. Or actually, you know what? I kind of wish too, like regen would be a cool one too, like Wolverine. That'd be pretty dope, right? If you think about it, like Deadpool or Wolverine. Although I don't know where you'd use that much, right? I feel like that might be you'd have to be getting in a bit of trouble to use that one. But yeah, guys, please drop a like, a subscribe. All of it helps out a ton. So you can always tell like too that I had the refeed days because like not even doing heavy and the pump is like crazy. So that's good though. That's what we want. Please, guys, drop a sub, a like, throw something in the comments, throw any question, throw some sort of question at me. Would be preferable if it was like something around supplements or nutrition, but I'll answer anything. A lot of the dudes at my school are skinny anyway. Yeah, right? And that's it. Yeah, height is an overrated attribute, man. Like, doesn't really mean much of anything. Except for you can reach stuff on higher shelves. That's basically it. But yeah, no, Alan Richardson seems like he'd be a cool person, like a good guy, but yeah, what about you? Do you guys have any actors that you feel are like overrated, that aren't as good of an actor as people act like they are? There's a question for you guys. Let me know who you think. How do you handle snacking late night cravings? Yes, that's a good one actually, Abel Go. So I do two things. I do one, it depends on like what I'm craving for. If I'm craving for something sweet, I'll typically do one of two things. I'll either do sugar-free Jello in the cups. So they're only like 5 or 10 calories, so you can crush one of those and be fine. If I'm like really craving something and it's been a couple hours since my last meal and I know I'm not going to bed for another hour or two, I'll do like some cottage cheese. I'll blend it with some sugar-free syrup and it tastes kind of like cheesecake. That's an option. Or there's a brand called Built and they make these bars called Built Puff bars, and they basically are like they have the consistency of marshmallow, but they're basically a protein bar, mostly collagen protein, so they wouldn't be a great kind of meal replacement bar, but they're only about 100 calories and 17 grams of protein, 140 calories. So sometimes I'll hit one of those. It's like I'm eating a candy bar, and then I'll just do a bit of a walk, go for a walk, and that usually covers any craving. If I'm craving salty, then I'll just do popcorn plain. I get the low calorie like mini bags because it's a lot of volume and fills you up. So that's the way to do that if you're trying to lose fat. That's one of the better ways you can kind of curb those snack cravings. Sorry, Darius, I saw you commented there. 1 second, I'll check it out. That's total right there. Easy. Ryan Reynolds, don't get that hype around that dude. I don't even keep up with all these celebs factors. Yeah, kind of same. Think of one that comes to mind. Ryan Reynolds, I could see that. He has like, I like him, and I like I like that he's Canadian, obviously, and he's Deadpool because Deadpool's one of my other favorite characters. But yeah, I can see what you mean. He's very much the same. Like, so Alan Richardson has like a range of abilities to play different things, but I think yeah, Ryan Reynolds not so much. I think he's got that one very tight niche character he can play, and that's kind of it. When you're outside and you're hungry, don't you feel? I do. So, but I still do eat some of them. So even when I was in my lean bulking, I had the first 8 weeks. McDonald's was actually a part of my meal plan every day. Believe it or not. Valley Boy, what's going on? Been good, man. Been good. How about you? How's your Easter? So yeah, you can still like that's where I say about if you saw my short, and I think you asked me this Able Ghost last time about like what is the biggest fitness myth, and I said that it's like that all your foods have to be like perfectly organic, lean, healthy in order to lose fat is one of the biggest myths because you can overeat broccoli, right? Like too many calories, you probably wouldn't, but you could overeat that. And same thing, if you have too many calories of that, you're still going to gain weight. So like, yeah, you can have some of those fun foods and plan them within your day and track them and still hit your fitness goals for sure. But you wouldn't want to make them like the majority of your diet. So I kind of do the 80-20 rule is how I've always lived. So like if 80% of your diet comes from like planned whole foods that you make and you pack, you can have 20% from McDonald's, KFC, whatever, as long as it's within your macro range, right? Your targets, calorie target and everything. So again, guys, if you're wondering about the weights, if you're new here and you're wondering why the weights are so low, we're just doing our deload week here, working our way through our new program. Still getting a good pump though, which is kind of the point. She should still get shaky, should feel like you're still, you know, still working out. You're still getting some sweat going. It's not like you're doing nothing, but you know, me head to McDonald's since you mentioned it. Hey, you're bulking, man, so it's good. You got a good excuse there. I can, you know, it's a good one. I should tell Darius. I should tell you this. My favorite bulking meal. So my first dirty bulk ever in my 20s, I gained 65 pounds and like a ton of inches. And it was like crazy. Like people thought I was nuts. And it was an IFBB pro at the time was my coach, Scott Milne. Like if you get a chance, look him up. He's a beast. They called him the Moose. But Scott Milne, Scott Milne, he's passed away now. God rest his soul. But really good guy. And he had me do if you guys ever heard of McCain Deep and Delicious, if you're Canadian, you know what that is. If you aren't, like Gay Lee is another one you guys might know in the States. It's basically like you go to the freezer section and it's like this little pan cake of like chocolate or vanilla cake. And I'd eat half of that and a full liter of whole milk an hour before bed. And in the whole milk, I'd put 1 scoop of like whey isolate. But oh my God, that was like the bulk I got off that was crazy. The strength, all that stuff was like wild. If you're bulking, you should give it a try. Give my friend, maybe it's chocolate that I should have. Yeah, that's the hard part with Easter, right? Kids have so much chocolate, but for Canadian thing only. Yeah, I think you guys have the Gailey pound cake though. I think in the States. Try checking that out. But you probably have something, some cool kind of freezer cake that you could grab and you know just patchwork it, or even just go to the whatever the grocery store, like a Publix bakery. Oh, you know what? Publix donuts. Those are solid. If you got a Publix near you. The funniest, most ridiculous question someone has asked you. Ooh. Um, it's not like funny, but like for some reason I get a lot of questions of if I'm gay for some reason. It makes me wonder, like, am I like gay? Do I ooze gay or something? Like what's going on with that? Um, but no, I don't really I don't think I've gotten any funny or ridiculous, like crazy questions. Yes, please like and subscribe, please, guys. It helps out a ton. I see there's a lot of people here, but do I speak Balasakan Balaskian? Balskian, chance? I don't. I wish I did. I wish I spoke a bunch more. But Mo Money, please drop a subscribe, man. I wish you could be a part of the community. Um, Funniest, most ridiculous question. Actually, you know what? One guy came on and he asked me something to do with like quantum physics randomly, and it was one of my first streams, like way back when. I basically put up Q&A in the title, and he came on. He was joking, and I think he works in like quantum physics or something. Like he does some sort of work there, and he asked me a question about that, and I was like, and I just gave him like a random answer. I think I said like purple or something, which just had nothing to do with it, and he laughed, and he was like, okay. He's like, you win points, and he subscribed. I haven't seen him on chat since, but some kid said I sounded gay a couple years ago. Yeah, I don't know where that keeps coming from. Everybody, like, every couple streams, someone comes on, they're like, hey, I'll be talking about my wife and kids, and they'll be like, are you gay? And I'm like, no, we're just talking about my wife and kids. But after a couple of times, I was like, sorry, something kept following. I was like, do I sound gay or do I seem gay? Is that, as my voice cracks as I'm saying that? But yeah, I'm like, I don't know. Do I give off that impression? I don't think I do. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I have gay family, like I mentioned, friends, and it doesn't bother me at all. But it's just funny. I'm like, is there something about me, or is that the thing in society now? If someone's like kind and I don't know, smiles at life, they're gay. It's weird. Oh, actually, there was one guy who was we were on here, we were chatting, and it was funny because he was like, it wasn't really a question, but we kind of played in a routine that like we are gonna start a company that sells single socks, and you could choose like left or right, and it was more like for when the dryer eats a sock or you do your laundry and you can't find the other side. It was going to be a gold mine. So you didn't have to buy full new pairs. You could just buy a single sock to complete the pair. So that was that was kind of ridiculous, but we ran with it for like an entire week's worth of streams making jokes about it. Alex, what's going on? You live in a garage? No, I would if I had to. I live in a home, and this is my basement. We call it the dungeon. This is my gym. But yeah, man, please drop a subscribe, join the community, hang around, come join some of these streams, hang out. We have a good time here. You can watch me work through my cut. Do I know I show speed? I do, yeah. Yeah, he's awesome, actually. He seems like really good too. That's another streamer that seems actually like a pretty. I've seen some of the stuff he does, like taking care of his like team and the people around him, and I like that. I like guys that are thoughtful and caring of the people that are around them. And pretty much had no reaction. Well, yeah, that's the thing in especially in high school days, man. That makes the girls want to be around you more, right? In those days, they're like, "How come he doesn't want me? What's going on?" They just don't realize you just don't care as much, right? I've been there. Explicitly stated that I wasn't looking for a girlfriend. No Diddy. Do I know how to dance? Not very well. I like to dance. I'm one of those white boys that doesn't dance very well, but yeah, I don't care. I'm not ashamed that I'm not a good dancer. I still go out and I have fun, and I would dance to music. And unfortunately for my wife, this white boy has a hard time finding the beat sometimes. Can't all be good at everything, I guess, though. Still getting a decent pump for whatever it is. Solomon, what's going on? Thanks you. Or thanks you? Thank you. Appreciate it, buddy. Please drop a subscribe, Solomon. It means the world to me. We're growing. Things are going good, but so that didn't help. Yeah, I'm sure that didn't help, but definitely helped them want to get in your pants more for sure. V the gamer, what's going on? Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. Do a Brazil dance. What is a Brazil dance? I don't know what that. I don't think I know what that even is. Oh my god, sorry guys. That loud noise. I'm just gonna put on some background music. I just realized that there wasn't anything on. But yeah, I appreciate you being here. Love your videos. Awesome. Thanks very much. No, don't stop. Hang out. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate everybody that wants to join and be part of the community. So we're going to try, that's our next exercise, a bit of a decline bench. Not sure how well this is going to work. We're going to try it with the barbell today first. We'll see how it goes. Sub, awesome. Thanks, buddy. I really appreciate the sub. Again, we're working our way towards 200. Please share the channel with anybody you think might be into hanging out and being a part of it. I'm really kind of pumped to go through this cut with you guys so you guys can kind of see. I'll show you day to day how things change. Like you can already kind of see like what my general shape is right now. And then, yeah, my abs definitely aren't as lean as I would like them to be. And as we start going, I'll start sharing kind of progress pics as we go along. And then you guys can see me probably get more and more lean. And thanks very much, buddy. I appreciate that. See a nice vein. Yeah, little vein happening in the arm, a little bit. That's mostly off the refeed foods yesterday. It was crazy. It was probably the first time in a year I had a donut. I had two yesterday. So my daily calories are 2,700. That's my target. I ate like 3,800 yesterday. Like crazy. I went wild. Most of it was clean food, but I did have the two donuts and, a couple things. But that's been the first time in like a year I've had those type of foods. So felt good. And that's obviously helping with the pump today. If I was lifting heavier, I'd probably get even more of one. But it's all pretty easy. But yeah, it's pretty much what it's all about. When you're putting super chat, I want to put super chat now. V the Gay, what's going on? I want to put super chat now, but I'm having trouble. Yeah, I'm having trouble getting it set up. So I'm gonna have to call. Actually, that's maybe one thing I'll do tomorrow. I have a really big meeting for work and stuff. So maybe Wednesday I'm gonna try to call in and see if I can figure that out with their support team. Going through a bad heartbreak. She manipulated and played me. Any advice? 25. Lost the one. Hurts every night. It's been a month hitting the gym as well. Yeah, man, that's hard. Advice wise, I think the gym is a good start. I think, yes, I do have advice. So I'll walk you through something in my life that's applicable. So I actually dated a girl in high school I thought I was going to get married to. We were actually engaged and planning a wedding and planning on buying a house, all that stuff. She cheated on me with someone. Um, so here's like a fun fact about me. I've never cheated on anyone in my life. Not even once. I was actually offered to be with two girls at one time when I was away on a rugby tour, and I didn't, to come back and find out my girlfriend had cheated on me. Just yeah. So I don't know. Not to get too deep into thing, but so when that happened, I felt very similar. I felt like my life was over. I felt like I had this vision of what my life was going to be. And yeah, in the moment you're crushed, right? You feel terrible. But my focus after that was like I had good friends around me, so that's one, surround yourself with good friends, good family. Um and yeah, basically take control of all the things that are meaningful to you is kind of what I did. So I took control of my finances. I took control of my health and fitness. I took control of all the things that meant something to me, and I just worked on that. And then as Diana, what's going on? Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. And yeah, so as I was doing that, and I think as you focus on being the type of person you want to be and what matters to you, you start to find the right people make their way into your life. Like I had friends who at the time they were very focused at doing some of the wrong things, and we kind of drifted apart. And then I met good people that kind of found their way into my life. My life kind of took a different path. And then I had my fitness business, so all good things happened. And yeah, and then some of the people that were my friends that drifted apart have made their way back into my life, and we have a deeper, better friendship even now. So I would say just focus on the things that are important to you and get them down pack and make them like a habit, that are just things that you take care of constantly, that are just part of your day. And yeah, look after you, and the right people will find their way. And now, so once I met my wife, even now, I'm amazed at how like I look back and I thought in the moment. I know in your head you may think she's the one, but like, yeah, don't go with alcohol. We already have someone who's having a bit of a problem with that here, but um, yeah. So like, yeah, now that I'm in a very happy, loving relationship with children that are like awesome, you realize what real love is and what it looks like. And I promise you, you'll be surprised when you get there. It is nothing like you're in with this person that you may have thought was the one. I think you'll be shocked when you actually find someone who is the one, how easy everything flows. And I kind of say that sometimes to my friends who are in relationships now, where they're either married or they think they're going to be married, and they have troubles. And I'm like, these sort of things shouldn't happen. So I think when you do find the right person and you do get into a really loving relationship, you'll be shocked at how smooth and easily everything flows and how much support there is. And like I mentioned, growing up, like I had a weird kind of upbringing. I don't know how I'm going to do this. This bench isn't built for decline, but I'm going to try anyway. Um, yeah, I had a weird upbringing. So I still sometimes apologize to my wife for stuff that's actually not a problem. And she'll be like, "Why are you apologizing?" Even my best friend sometimes like, "Why are you apologizing?" I'm just like, I don't know. That's how I grew up. I grew up that I should probably be apologizing for just being myself. So yeah, man, just I'd start there and just keep working at it, man. Of course, man. That's what this is about. So like this channel, guys, if you're new here, please subscribe, be part of the community. This is about helping everybody in the community with everything. And I'm going to open up about stuff that I'm going through, and hopefully you guys can help me work along and work through it. And that's what I want it to be. I want it to be just a community of good people. Sure, we'll talk about health, fitness, and all that stuff because I have a good amount of experience there. But I'm also happy just to have good people hanging out and talking about stuff. So If I lift pizza slices repeatedly, will I eventually get abs? Or just happiness? Probably just happiness more than anything, but oh, yeah, sorry, I saw that. I saw you say that, Darius. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like, so the thing about never cheating on anybody, it's not that I haven't had opportunities and stuff like that. I just don't get it. Like, I honestly do not understand. Like, if people do, and like, fine. Like, obviously, I have friends who have and do or whatever. But like, I've always said, like, it just makes zero sense to me because I'm just the type of person I would even rather call or text someone and say like, hey, like this is gonna happen, and we're just like, I can't be with you anymore, to at least give them some sort of front running explanation than to just go and be like so impulsive and like so. It's kind of like, to me, like if you have to go do that and then try to hide it and whatever, that just tells me that more than likely your life is in shambles. In my opinion, it's the same way I feel about putting your cart back after grocery shopping. Like if you can't do something that simple, like what does that say? You know, I do. I have a lot of tattoos. I have like, let's see. So I have one here, one on my back. You can't really see it here. Got yeah, kind of my arms, forearms. Got a bunch. Let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12 and more planned. Love from Kenya. Oh, Kenya, nice. That's awesome, man. I've actually always wanted to go to Kenya. I've actually always wanted to go on a safari in Africa at some point. Yeah, man, definitely push on. I think you'll be shocked. I think you will find someone else. And I think when you do, you'll be blown away at how much it hurt at this point, realizing that it may not have been the type of love you think it is once you find the right kind. I know so many people don't put carts back, and I don't, right? And that's why everyone's fat. Because like if like I think what's Higher Up Wellness is like a popular fitness guy. And I think he said it, and I kind of agree. Is like, yeah, if you can't do something easy like put your cart back, you're kind of in shambles, right? That is my wife. Yeah. So that's like a kind of like a character in the style of tattoo art that I really like, of my wife with a rose slash peony flower. I like flowers, and I like bringing my daughters and my wife flowers semi often. Not as much anymore because we're trying to obviously use money for other things. But yeah, like Easter, I got them some tulips, and I got my daughters a plant that they can kind of water till it slowly grows and then plant outside. It's in a little bunny thing planter. Yeah, lots of different tattoos, but Sierra Leone, I've heard beautiful things. It would be nice to visit there too. Yeah, that is a nice place. Oh yeah, yeah, about sleep. Yeah, I noticed a lot of people actually lately talking about having trouble sleeping. So I was talking about that on stream, so I thought I'd put that clip up to help people because there's a lot of stuff you can do for sleep. I usually start with, I mentioned starting with magnesium there. I don't always start there. If I'm helping a client, or helping a person, I usually say to start with like a good carb meal before bed, a couple hours before bed. I try to space it 2.5 hours before bed. Clean carbs, you want something like white potato, sweet potato, because carbs help your body like produce melatonin and stuff like that, right? Or produce the things you need to produce. Um, if that doesn't work, then I move on to magnesium. I usually do like a magnesium biglycinate, which is it's absorbable and usually helps. And I do that like an hour before bed. Usually helps you kind of de-stress and like wind down. That works for most people. But if that doesn't work, then I recommend um, a little bit of melatonin, but not for a long time. Melatonin will definitely work, but you don't want to become dependent on it, right? Because you want your body to make its own. So I say try like a night or two of melatonin and see if you can get like a regular sleep. Felix, what's going on? Men are really looks maxing. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I've seen that whole trend. I don't really get it. Kind of just born the way I am, and there's stuff I like about my body and hate, but I don't think I'd go so far to start like bone smashing and stuff. I've heard some of the ridiculous stuff they do, but my sleep schedule is so bad. I'm in my own time zone. Oh my god, dude. Yeah. But sleep, like for fat loss and like muscle growth and stuff, sleep is really important because it's a good what's the word, indicator of like your stress levels, right? So if your stress levels are really high, you're gonna have trouble sleeping. Sometimes if they're too low, you'll have trouble sleeping, or you'll want to sleep all the time. And then sleeping at night's hard if you nap too much during the day. So yeah, so magnesium is number two. Third would be melatonin. Then fourth would be like a sleeping aid, like that would be something like Sleep Easy in Canada we have, which is like kind of like a quote unquote sleeping pill. But best split for natural lifters. I think it really depended on the person. Problem gaining in the gym has nothing to do with training. It's diet. Yeah. So sorry. So I'm starting with Bassam here. Bassam, the best thing you can do, add fat to every meal, and good fats. So olive oil, tallow, avocado, um, peanut butter, some kind of nut butter. You can use Brazil nut. You can use anything like that. Hi, Chess. Hi, beautiful. That's my wife. Lottie Dottie. Everybody shout out Lottie Dottie. That's my wife. Um, yeah, so add fat to every meal. So fat is the most calorie dense macronutrient. So when you have a gram of proteins, only 4 calories. A gram of carbs is 4 calories, but a gram of fat is 9. So if you're having trouble with gaining, you want the most calorie dense macronutrient to be high. So that's fats. But then you don't want to be eating tons of saturated fats because that's bad for your health. So stuff like fried chicken, French fries, stuff like that. So yeah, try like one thing I do when I'm having trouble gaining weight is I'll like use white rice and I'll keep my portion size kind of my normal bulking size, but I'll pour some olive oil on it. So that helps drive the calories up because like a true tablespoon of olive oil is like 280 calories, right? So it's you can add a lot of calorie density to your meals without adding like a ton of volume of food. That's probably the best way when you're gaining. And then so again, guys, this is just deload week, so don't worry too much about these weights. They will be heavier once I get back to my normal pressing around 8 difficulty, 8 out of 10 and plus difficulty. So yeah, that's probably my best advice for gaining. Yeah, most people don't realize that they're very, very calorie dense, but yeah, thanks for being here. Um, the best split for natural lifters. Sorry, that's where I was at. I think it really depends. So my thing is for men, volume of leg training. Men don't. I don't think most of the males that I see, they don't put enough emphasis on legs because they usually have an excuse. They don't like legs, whatever. Legs are important because leg days drive some excess hormone levels for men. So if you're lifting heavy squats, heavy power lifts, stuff like that, that's a good idea. But that weight seems to be too light. It is too light, Felix. That's the point right now. So I'm in a deload week. I'm not sure if you saw in the title. So I just finished my last week of bulking finished. I'm going on to my cut. So this is my cut program, but a deload week. So it's a week of 12 to 15 reps, light enough. I'm probably at like 5, 6 out of 10 intensity. So that's not very heavy. I will be going much heavier, but it's to let my joints and everything, kind of reduce inflammation and whatnot before going into empty. Yeah, same thing. Sorry, I'm just talking through why it is so light right now. So I will be adding a lot more weight. That's just what deload week looks like. You guys will see my new program. You'll see some lighter weights. I'll get healthier and less close to injury, and then we'll go into our hard cut. And yeah, the hard cut will be the next, what? For 8, 10, 12, next 16 weeks. And then summer will be about over and we'll start bulking up again. And then next year, I was hoping to hit the 200 pounds at, 200 pounds at between 10 and 12% body fat for the summer. But I think I'm going to end up, I am going to hit between 10 and 12% body fat, but I think I'm going to end up under 200 pounds again, which it was a stretch anyway. But, you know, whatever, it's fine. And then after my next bulk, I might even go a little harder on the bulk this next round and see if I can hit slightly over 200 pounds. But I think it'll all be all good. Is there an alternative to deadlift that hits lower back as well? You have a problem with it? Yeah, so I actually have a problem doing standard conventional deadlifts. I would say for your hamstrings, doing a stiff leg deadlift, which is basically just getting an isometric, like a stretch contraction through the hamstrings, that should be okay. It'll still train your posterior chain. And then you could do the Roman chair type. So the one where the pad's on your hips and you kind of leaning forward. Back extensions is a good one. And go with that. Christening Ghost, what's going on? How you doing? Thanks for being here, guys. Again, please, if you're new, please drop a subscribe and a like. It helps me out a ton. We're trying to hit 200 subscribers by May. Don't worry too much about these weights. Again, guys, this is deload week. The whole point of this is not to be lifting as heavy as I normally do. 8 to 10. This is about to go through the motions, the joints healthy, get my movement patterns back on. Nice clean form. Build up a bit of a burn. And then next week we'll be back on between 8, 9, 10% and 10 out of 10 intensity. So like for instance, this. So I'm at 12, 13, 14, 15. So that was way too light because it didn't, like I could keep a normal conversation. It didn't even build much of a burn. So that was even lighter than a deload level. So it still should be about like 5, 6 intensity. You should still build a burn. You should still get a little bit of a pump, but it shouldn't be so much so, you know. Christine Ghost, nice. That's your brother. Welcome, buddy. Welcome in. I appreciate you very, very much. Any good tips on how to recover fast after football practice? I do. So I used to be in that situation a lot. We may live, my friend. Thank you, G Long. I appreciate that. G Long Cats. Jesus died so that we may live. Well, that's the whole point of Easter, right? Yeah. So for after football practice, one, make sure you're getting good. Make sure you're getting good recovery in terms of like time resting. So you don't want to be putting yourself through undue stress. Make sure you're taking in good amount of liquid high sugar carbs. So like dried fruit and stuff prior to practice, like an hour or so prior to practice. G-Long, how's it going, buddy? Thank you for being here. I appreciate you very much. Please drop a subscribe and a like. It means the world to me. It's super helpful. Yeah, make sure to have high sugar carbohydrates and stuff during practice. So you're using kind of immediate energy stores as opposed to, depleting your stores that are kind of already your body's trying to use to repair you. Make sure that you're having adequate post-practice nutrition. The perfect thing you can do. Are you a milk drinker, Christening Ghost? Sorry, I'll check out the thing in a second. So Kristen Ghost, if you are a milk drinker, one of the best. Got this, man. I believe in you. Thanks very much, CR7. I appreciate that. It's right after school. Yeah. So I would say, Kristen Goes, you can do anything. Get some dried fruit, keep it in your bag. And then milk, if you're good with milk, have like a good amount of chocolate milk. I'd say like not a full liter, but like a half. There's kind of that one in between a full liter, but like of chocolate milk. CR7, thank you very much, man. I appreciate you being here. Yeah, I know I haven't seen the name before, but if you could drop a subscribe, man, it means the world to me. It's a huge help. We're trying to hit 200 by my birthday in late May, and I'm just about to start my cut. So yeah, so my big thing was, the thing that helped me the most was I started dried fruit. I was doing like dried pineapple was my thing, but dried mango is a really good one in your bag, and then chocolate milk for after practice. So you do a bunch of dried mango about an hour before you get on the field, because you want semi-clean but still sugary carbs. Practice, and then post-practice, chocolate milk. And then after that, you get home, eat a really good dinner. And in my chocolate milk, I would put 5 grams of creatine once I hit like 15, 16 years old. And yeah, that to me made the best. We get protein shakes after, perfect. So if you can get like 5 grams of creatine in that, I found milk worked better because you have like a good amount of sugary carbs, so it increases your insulin sensitivity. There's some protein in there. So yeah, protein, carbs, increased insulin sensitivity. And then I'd eat when I got home, and that was awesome. Were human beings created to eat raw meat? They were not. But it's not, it depends on the type of meat, right? Like you can get away with some meats eating raw, but I wouldn't recommend going out and eating raw poultry, turkey or chicken. Like raw fish, you can eat some raw beef, raw venison, stuff like that you can get away with. So see that was a good 15. My last 2 or 3 was like a solid burn. You could feel a pump starting in my triceps. It's good. Please answer my stupid question. What was it? Sorry, one little stupid question person. Question: the person who takes steroids are not good in bed. Is it true? I don't think that's true. It might be. I don't really know. I think that everything should, if you're doing it properly, if someone's taking PEDs properly and they know what they're doing and stuff, they should still be able to function properly in bed. And I mean, the people that are bad in bed are usually the people that just don't know any better, right? Where they probably think they are good. Okay, thank you. Yeah, no problem, Christine. Yeah, try it out for a little bit, and I think you'd be surprised at how much of a difference it makes. Just being able to, just being able to have kind of the quick carbohydrates at your disposal for energy during practice. Oh God, burn! It's crazy. It's burning like crazy. Is a protein milkshake's good? Yeah, they're good. They're fine. The laughing face. Yeah, I don't know. Do you have some experience, Abel Goes? Has someone said that people who take it haven't been good in bed, or you should bench press the weight that is more than your body weight? Well, not necessarily. So I see what you're saying, Felix, but I think there's 2 or 3 things that influence that. One depends on what you're training for and what you're trying to get out of it, right? You should be able to do that. Like, so if I got under, I don't know, let's see, like I weigh 207 right now. I should be able to get under at least 207 and bench press it at least a couple times, which I can. Yeah, my friend's dad told me. Nice. Yeah, good. How long should a workout ideally be for best results? Ideally, you want to be training at least 45 to 70 minutes, somewhere in that range, depending on how your thing is set up. Yeah, so Felix, yeah, not necessarily. Like if you're training for hypertrophy, like I've gone through my like strength training or my strength maxing training where you're just trying to lift as heavy as possible, right? And it's all about show, not really go, or all about go, not really show. But now I'm just training for show, man, to be honest. I'm just training for, I want my physique to look as best as it can. I want to be strong for sure. But as I can see, like I'm gaining lean muscle mass, so I'm strong enough. But if you're not, yeah, 90 minutes might be a little long. um, yeah, especially for football, right? Because football, very explosive sport. So it's about short bursts of energy, short bursts of lots of power. So yeah, you're someone like in my younger days when I played football and rugby, it made more sense to train super explosive and super heavy. But not so much anymore. I think now I'm just training for the nicest physique I can have as I age. So give me a shout out, please. It's my birthday. Name is Branson. Big shout out to Branson, twinning hard. Branson, please drop a subscribe, be part of the community. I appreciate you. We'll pin your message. Happy birthday, buddy. Give him a quick follow. Anybody who follows me, by the way, guys, if you're new here, if you follow me, I'll follow you back. That's how I always do. But um, as a nurse, let me tell you one thing. When someone takes the natural ability to produce testosterone goes to zero and the size of it. Yeah. So yeah, when you take endogenous testosterone, so you take needles outside, or you take testosterone outside of, you do lose your natural function. So testicles shrink. Not that you guys need to know this, but yeah, testicles shrink. But there are other drugs that help bring that back. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate you. Do you prefer lightweight, more reps, or heavy but less reps? I prefer right in the middle, Felix. So I typically train about eight, I'd say anywhere between 7 and 9 of my like max effort type weight. Um, Probably usually around the 7, 8 mark. And I really focus on the slow eccentric of the motion, like the resistance and resistance training, because that causes more tears and causes your body to have to build back bigger and stronger. So that's how I usually train for hypertrophy or for muscle gain. Every once in a while, I'll do strength days where I train closer to like 10% intensity or 9, 10 out of 10 intensity where I'll like hit failure or close to failure. I have a quick little short that you can see where I actually dropped 205 on my face because I thought I'd get like a 10th rep and I didn't quite get the 10th rep. And I hooked one side and couldn't really hook the other. So it kind of dropped on my face. But yeah. Yeah. So sorry, I was saying about testosterone there. So that does happen, but I don't think it affects, or at least I mentioned that I had used PEDs in my younger years. It didn't really ever affect my ability to function. Um, but also, I was very, very. But if you want to take, yeah. So that's the thing. So I think that's where I was always good. Like I always made sure I was getting checkups and everything. Like I made sure everything was right. Like everything was taken care of, and I wasn't putting myself in harm's way health wise. And I think there's a lot of people that don't do that, right? Like I hear some of the guys that are like pros and stuff when I take training to failure. Typically 3 sets, and it's usually the third set is drinking salty water before training helpful. Yeah, it's helpful for pumps and just staying hydrated, right? Is it bad? I almost died my first football tryouts. No. So funny enough, I used to have a hard time of like distance running and stuff when I was younger. I used to not have very good cardio. Sorry, guys, I'm just working on the abs here. And yeah, I remember my first, like I thought my first couple, because I had played football in the off season and stuff like that. And I thought when I got to school, I'd be good. But then when I tried out for varsity, It was way harder than I thought. And yeah, it's same thing. I think I almost like passed out my first couple times. So I actually I'm very, very, very competitive. So like a few times we went on neighborhood runs and we had to run, I think it was like 8 kilometers or whatever, which isn't like super crazy, but it's enough. And my cardio wasn't that great. So I remember a couple times I wouldn't quit because that's just like the type of person I am, very, very competitive. So I didn't quit. And I got back to the school. And when we got back to like the finish line, I'd get in and I'd be seeing spots. And a couple times my vision kind of closed in and I almost passed out. So yeah, I think that's normal. I think the more you do it, if you keep consistent, you keep working hard, it'll be good. How many cheat meals do you need before it becomes a cheat lifestyle? Not very many, surprisingly. I always worry. So I had the 2 refeed days, Saturday, Sunday, before I started my diet back for the cut today. And it's shocking how easy it gets to just be comfortable eating whatever. But tips to get my cardio up? Yeah. A couple actually. So one, vary the type of stimulus. So I think cardio, it's really easy to just do one thing. Like you get really comfortable doing long walks or short jogs, whatever it is. And you forget like variety in training cardio. So yeah, mix in like hill runs, mix in like skipping, burpees, mix in stuff like that. And you'll be surprised, like your other forms of cardio will get better quicker. So if like running distance is something your coach has you doing regularly, mix in on some of your own time, some hill runs, some decline runs, like downhill runs. And some like skipping here and there. And you'll be shocked, man, how quickly your cardio kind of improves. So, were you good at up dogs? What's up, dog? One thing I wish I knew before I started my fitness journey. The one thing I wish I knew. Well, it's not so much what I wish I knew because, like, I kind of always knew it, but I wish we had that. Like, it makes fitness and health and journey now like just so easy. Is tracking, like a tracker for like calories and stuff like that. When I think back to like how labor intensive the diet and prep was and meal planning when I was playing football and like the anxiety around it and stuff versus now is just like crazy. Now I don't get anxious about it at all because I can track everything easily just from my phone. That's it. That's all she wrote. Yeah, so that's one thing I wish I'd gotten better at back in the day without feeling so like constricted. But yeah, appreciate you guys for being here. Again, guys, please, if you're new and you haven't already, please drop a subscribe, a like. You can follow me on any of my socials at Baddiedaddydiaries on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Here on YouTube, I had to add an 18, but I'll be on 5 days a week lifting, 3 days a week doing cardio. This week is our deload week, so don't judge me too much on the weights I'm lifting now. Next week, you'll see me lifting more of the regular, heavier weights, going a little harder. This is just deload week. We're just trying to get healthy before we start our cut. The best calorie tracker app you use, it's basically free or close to it. So MyFitnessPal is the best free one. They'll keep trying to get you to get the premium membership. Don't. Stay free. Paid one, there's one called Macro Factor. That's a paid one. It's just a little more detailed. It has an AI component, so you can take a picture of your plate if you're eating out, and it'll tell you what everything is and the values. And it's reasonably close. It's actually really, really close. But yeah, I would say MyFitnessPal is probably the best one. And again, guys, thank you for being here. Sending you guys lots of love and positivity. And we'll see you tomorrow around the same time. Please subscribe, like, comment, and we'll see you guys soon.